Hello folks, we take the part 7 video of the miscellaneous exercise 5. We continue, the last problem that we did was 15th, now it is going to be the 16th problem. It's been given to us that x plus iy the whole cube is u plus iv. With this data, we are supposed to show this particular expression. So let's consider whatever is being given to us. It's being given to us that x plus iy whole raised to 3 is u plus iv. So we have no other option rather than using our x plus y the whole cube formula. So let's use that and see what comes. X cube plus iy the whole cube plus 3x squared iy plus 3x iy squared is u plus iv. So this is, it means that this is I cube y cube, and I cube we know is minus I. So x cube minus I y cube, and this is 3x squared yi, and here now this is obviously going to be I squared y squared, and I squared we know is minus 1. Like that, this will become minus 3xy squared equal to u plus iv. So what we will do is we'll club the real terms together and imaginary terms together. X cube minus 3xy squared, and the imaginary terms are 3x square y minus y cube. All this is equal to u plus iv. Obviously what we are going to do when two complex numbers are equated, the real parts will be equated, the imaginary parts will be equated. So what will happen here, we will have x cube minus 3xy squared becoming u, and 3x squared y minus y cube becoming v. Since we have this, we can directly find out our LHS. We will just consider the LHS. And what does the LHS say? It says u by x plus v by y. Let's find out what is u by x. We know what is u. It's been given to us that u is u is x cube minus 3xy squared by x according to our expression, plus v is 3x squared y minus y cube by y according to our expression. It's very clear to us that the x is common over here. So if you take the x common, we're left with x squared minus 3y squared. And here if you take the y common, it is 3x squared minus y squared. So they can cut each other, and you're left with x squared minus 3y squared plus 3x squared minus y squared. Let's club the like terms together. X squared, 3x squared, 3y squared minus 3y squared minus y squared. X squared plus 3x squared is 4x squared. Minus 3x squared minus y squared is minus 4y squared. And that's exactly our RHS. So that is 4 times x squared minus y squared, which is our RHS. Hence proved, because LHS is equal to RHS. That's about this. The next problem, they have told us that there are two complex numbers alpha and beta, where beta is such that its modulus value is 1. They ask us to find the modulus of this expression. Okay, now this is a totally new problem where we are going to take up a new concept. There is a concept in complex numbers that the modulus of a complex number square is always the product of the complex number into its conjugate. This idea we are going to consider in this problem, and we are going to do it. So what we are going to do is, we are going to take the modulus of this number. Let's consider, since we require the modulus of the given complex number, let's consider beta minus alpha by 1 minus alpha conjugate beta whole square. Let's consider, and because of this result, we know that it is beta minus alpha by 1 minus alpha bar beta into beta minus alpha by 1 minus alpha bar beta conjugate. We are using that idea, and because that's the case, we'll get this. This is, of course, we don't have to do much. It will stay as it is, the first expression. But the second expression, let's get the conjugate. Now, how do we get the conjugate? We, in some of the earlier problems, we had learnt that if there is a conjugate for a fraction, or for a rational expression, then you actually take the conjugate for the numerator and denominator separately, like conjugate of z1 by z2 is conjugate of z1 by conjugate of z2. So this is going to be beta minus alpha conjugate by 1 minus alpha bar beta conjugate. Again, conjugate between these expressions whenever it comes up. Let's see how that is going to work out over here. Beta minus alpha into conjugate of beta minus alpha bar by 1 minus alpha bar beta whole conjugate. Having a conjugate like z1 plus z2 conjugate is going to be conjugate of z1 plus conjugate of z2 separate. That is also correct. So therefore you could write this as beta minus alpha into conjugate of beta minus conjugate of alpha. Please mark this step. We were taking the conjugate of alpha bar beta. So what happens is, this is alpha and conjugate of this. That means it's a conjugate of alpha bar already and its conjugate, and conjugate of beta, which is beta bar. Now alpha bar alpha, you have alpha bar and then again a conjugate, means it becomes alpha itself, and here it is beta bar. That's how we have written it as alpha beta bar. So that's how the conjugate comes there. Now let's further go on to solve this by our usual method, this into this into this, like that. So what will come, your first term is beta into beta bar minus beta into alpha bar minus alpha into beta bar, or alpha into beta conjugate if you call it like that. Minus into minus is plus alpha into alpha bar by. Now you can have 1 conjugate, of course, is 1, this into this into this, so that's 1 minus alpha beta bar minus alpha bar beta plus alpha bar beta into alpha beta bar. Now it's clear to us that it's been given to us that the conjugate of beta is 1. So the modulus of beta is 1 means beta into beta bar is 1 by this idea, by the same idea. This is 1. It implies that beta into beta bar is 1. How we get it? We get it because of this result itself. So what will happen is we can have that substituted here. This will become 1. 1 minus alpha bar beta minus alpha beta bar plus alpha into alpha bar, or that can be written as alpha bar square also, a modulus of alpha bar square, you can write it like that. Now here it is 1 minus alpha bar beta alpha beta bar, and just see this, alpha bar into beta bar, out of which beta into beta bar we know is 1. So there is no harm if we write just alpha into alpha bar. Just check, there is absolutely no harm if we write it as alpha into alpha bar, because beta into beta bar, when it's getting multiplied, it will become 1. What is the result of all this? We will see that the numerator and denominator are exactly same. Because they are exactly same, they can cancel each other, and when they cancel each other, you get the answer as 1. The moment you've got the answer as 1, what have you got? You have got beta minus alpha by 1 minus alpha bar beta's modulus square as 1. So let's take square roots on both sides. So what will happen? You will get beta minus alpha by 1 minus alpha bar beta also as 1, and that is what is asked. They have asked us to find out the value, and the value has come out to 1. That is about our part 7 with the new problem. We are coming in the next video. Thank you.